Waiting. Hello, hello, hello. Just double checking. Still a little bit nervous about this setup. Give me just a moment. And I'm checking my redundant system. And there it is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And let me get this right here, one little catch. There we go. So, guys, I'm very, very excited. Been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now. And I've got some exciting new news. We'll do that first, and then we'll get to the unboxing. I know you guys are excited as well. So, first of all and foremost, the new members that have subscribed to the channel are the most important aspect of my videos. Gore, hey, it's nice to see you there. Lazy Fish Keeper, hello. Good to see you guys. I have my chat box up now. I can see this as it pops in. I'll try to glance at that every once in a while. So, new subscribers, we got Indigenous, Gore TV. I don't know if I mentioned you last time, but hello again. Thank you so much you're even here. I appreciate that. Honey Pie is a new member also to the Discord. She has came and asked some questions, and some of the members have been able to chip in, and she's got an amazing build coming up for herself. It's her first time to build a computer, and she's honored me by having watched some of my videos and learned a few things. And with what I know and with what some of the guys that know way more about building computers than I do, we're definitely not going to be able to steer her wrong. We're going to help her every chance we can. But congratulations to her for being a first-time builder. That's really awesome. Guys, I'm blown away. The YouTube analytics say there's over 4,000 views. And I get it that views aren't full videos. I think accumulatively there's over 200 hours of watch time on my videos. I don't know what you're thinking, but I am so glad you're here. And as long as you keep coming back, I'll keep coming back. So really excited. The membership is up over 60 subscribers. And I wish I got notifications on every single one of them. I would say hi to all of you, but I'm not sure how that works. Maybe if somebody knows, they could drop me a line and say how I can find the list of all my subscribers. Fortunately and hopefully and wishfully thinking at some point there'll be a time when I can't keep up with them. But as long as I'm trying to bring good content and sharing my passion with you and your interest, and we're all coming together, it's more about the community and not just me or my subscribers. The Discord has done great things as far as helping each other. For instance, we have Honey Pie, who I already mentioned. She's first time builder. She's got a good budget for a good system, but she's a little nervous about some of the aspects of the build. We told her it's going to be fine. You're going to do great. Just take your time and be patient. Hit us up for any questions you have that might come along, and just take it one step at a time. And that's going to be awesome. Another member of the Discord and of the channel subscriptions is a amazing computer builder, exotic computers, RGB gaming systems that are just out of this part. It's a side business for him, and some of his content or some of his creations that have been posted in the Discord, absolutely gorgeous. We have a section for post your pics of the systems. A lot of those he's already sold, but he does by contract as well and builds those on the side. I'm not mentioning any names right now because those are private until they're to be known, and they are available upon getting involved with the Discord if you like to do that. But also, very fortunate to know I have met a person that has joined the Discord and been watching the videos that is an expert, just an absolute hardware guru, and just has a wealth of information, things I didn't know. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, when he tells us something and we're listening, and I'm typing in Google as fast as I can to try to pull up what he's talking about so I'll understand it, and I save every bookmark and I go back and look at it later, and I've learned a lot. We also have a Dream Builder, and Dream Builder, if you remember John from a few episodes ago, came and we did some modifications to his existing system. John has committed, and I believe he's purchased the parts for an absolutely out of this world, intense, future-proof, exciting gaming system that I can only ever dream or imagine of having. But he's honored me with the request to help him build that. We're going to do that on a multi-part series of shows. To build that kind of system takes, I'm sure, hours and hours and hours. Obviously, we'll break it down to different parts and share with you that content. And then the final product is just going to be out of this world. So I'm so excited about that. Looking forward to that. One more thing I'd like to mention, Robin is a new member, sent me a message in the video last time. And if you remember, I replaced the fans in what was our budget build originally. Now, guys, that's not a budget build anymore. It's so many parts I put in that have made it where you would be at if you took that computer from the very cheapest things you could find, slowly added a piece or two at a time. I did it in a short time, in a couple of weeks, and I've invested over $500 in all those parts. But initially, we had a build for less than 100 on some of the parts that we were able to acquire through Marketplace. And now, over the things that I've added, would have been a period of a year that somebody was trying to add things to them slowly. So Robin pointed out that when she saw me putting the fans in, she goes, "Hey, I think your hardware your profile for your RAM is wrong." And I was like, "Wow, I've been building a lot of different things lately, and I felt like I had it right, but it was, gosh, it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I read that comment. I had to get up. I came in, I looked at that computer, and sure enough, she was right." So, or he, I'm sorry, I don't know if a Robin is a man or a woman, but you are a contributor to the channel, and I thank you for that. So I don't want to confuse the issue there, but I was wrong. And so the first thing I did was I resorted to the book that I got with that motherboard. That's a ROG Strix B450 Gaming. And that was the one we got a really good deal on that had the chewed up box on it. And so I looked and I saw I had, in fact, put the memory in the wrong slot. So let me show you an example of that. Here is a printout of, in this book, this is the page that shows the orientation. And I don't know how well you can see this. I don't think you see my cursor, but you'll see in the first profile here, there's, my finger doesn't work when I'm behind it. There's one slot and it goes into the second slot that's from the CPU. And then if you have two sticks, which is dual channel, you put it in the second and the fourth slot. And guys, a lot of that has to do with the speed, how the system reads through each one of those slots. So for instance, in this case, the second slot is A1 and the fourth slot is, I believe, B1 or B2. Either way, you no, B1 and B2. So it's, yeah, second one in. Irregardless, the diagram there shows the where the RAM should go for the maximum efficiency and the highest speed. So if you have a system, Google your motherboard, make sure that if you're only using two sticks and you have 4 slots, there are 2 that are better to use than the other 2. If you have one, there's one designated slot for it, works best. And I think it's like a little train track. They go in an order of those 4 slots. And if you have them in the correct slots, it feeds back to the system faster, which is probably an indistinguishable amount of time. But if you're really heavy on your resources and using lots of applications and lots of pages open and your computer's trying to do multiple tasks at the same time, that's where RAM really helps out. And it will help you do that efficiently, more faster. I think the worst case scenario, you have 20-something pages open on the browser, and the 21st page is kind of slow. As long as your RAM is in the right allocations and the speed is there, then you'll get the most efficient use of multiple pages such as that. So that's one example. Thank you so much, Robin, for that information. And I'm always open to anybody that has any recommendations. Please put the comments in. The comments that are put in the videos after the live streams are uploaded, and they stay there, and I see every one of them. So the Gore TV has, he said his was the same way. It's a thing. I think in what we do, let me get rid of this real quick. What we do for the most part is, it's probably not even noticeable. And like I said, I had started playing that with some Fortnite. I didn't really notice, but I'm gonna have to go back again and try and see if there's a little bit of a difference. I do know that on that system, hey, did horse, what's happening? I got a Nova Bench score that was much higher on the RAM. Well, I say much, it was about 50 points after I had arranged the RAM in the correct orientation. I believe that's the case. I could be confused, but anyway, it definitely helps. So that being said, let me show you a couple new things I got. And first of all, thanks to Dijon Wind or whatever. Okay, David. I'm going to call you David. David recommended this motherboard to purchase because he's used it before. Myself, I'm a little apprehensive when it comes to Intel products because I get it. There are a series of CPUs and processors and sockets, and I just never have paid that much attention to Intel as much as I like AMD. I've always preferred AMD over anything. And even there's a lot to learn about that. But in the interest of, we got some cheap parts, built a cheap computer, had it up and running, and then we replaced a bunch of parts, and we got an adequate gaming system. Well, in the same respect to trying to save some money for first-time gamers or gamers who want their own systems and don't want to go out and spend $1,000 on a gaming system, David said, hey, I've had a lot of luck with these Chinese boards, and the theory behind those is they build brand new boards by Chinese manufacturers, which, if you think about it, our branded motherboards we buy at Best Buy or Fry's or Micro Center, they're all Chinese boards. There's so much of those that are imported, transistors and that kind of thing. So in the respect of Chinese products in general, there are some that are better than others. And Dave recommended, say, hey, this is a great board to start with, a basic rig. And what they do is they'll sell you a brand new board with a aftermarket used Xeon processor. And if I understand correctly, those Xeon processors are used for servers and have been tested to be shown to be working improperly. And there's hundreds of them. There's hundreds of different, and guys, they're an average of $10 a piece on eBay. And in this particular case, this motherboard came with that processor. This is the ZSUS motherboard. It's an X99. It's a small form factor. It has the LGA 2011-3 socket. And it comes with the CPU that came with this one is a Xeon ES 2650. And it also, you can choose whether you want just the motherboard, the RAM, and the CPU, or most of the motherboards come with a CPU. You can choose to add the RAM, and you can buy additional storage as well. I chose to get the combo pack, the motherboard, the processor, and the RAM, and then I bought a separate item of the storage. Now the storage, I don't know if it's inside the box or not. I'm hoping that they did put it inside the motherboard box, because the way this is, I don't feel it on the outside, and there's just enough packaging for the motherboard itself box. But I do know that they installed the CPU in the motherboard before they sent it out. I'm hoping the RAM is installed as well. But what I have done is I have not done anything. I have not opened it. So you guys are going to see with me the first time on my very first Chinese motherboard purchased through AliExpress. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. The one thing I do want to point out, guys and ladies, when I say guys, I mean everyone inclusively. Please hope you understand that. This package is clean. It's got all the edges. The corners they feel to be there. And I don't feel anything that would be crushed. It's got its form, its structure. There's no rips or scratches in the packaging. And David recommended that his interest in this board, the ones that he has bought, is because it had high reviews. And there's been quite a few purchases and good reviews on this board. So in that respect, it's like, yes, I believe they did a good job of getting this here overseas to me in a very decent package and in good condition. One additional aspect of that, another member suggested that I get VRM heat sinks, which there's a bunch of these. I think this was $7 on Amazon, but they're self-adhesive, small little metal aluminum heat sinks. They'll go on the VRMs, which is voltage regulators, and those can have a tendency in these boards to get very hot. So I bought a package of those to add those wherever I can to the VRMs. And then if I did happen to deal with aftermarket power supplies, it was recommended to me to get a power supply tester. I got this off of Amazon, $12, I think $11 and change. And guys, the links to these items, the motherboard combo, the power supply, those are in the information below. And so as we get into that, you'll be able to see where I got this stuff. And I'm looking forward to using the power supply tester. That's going to be kind of neat. So let's see, we've got some information here. Gore says, I got my RAM from AliExpress only because it had an anime chick on it. What's going on? A specific look works great. There are some pretty awesome looking things in there. If they had a Doctor Who theme, motherboard, RAM, or whatever, that would be me. I would buy it. And in fact, I haven't looked. I'm going to have to go look. But yeah, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. Most of the doctors. The rest of that comment I'll keep to myself. But Let's see. Let me make sure I've covered everything. Got the tester covered. Discord, guys. The Discord is so much fun. It's more of a family. The people that are in there are so nice, so smart. We've shared information. I've learned a lot. I don't know as much as they do. I just I started this with the intent to say, hey, look what we can do and save yourself some money. Don't go buy a brand new $1,000 machine from the box store and get less than what you could do if you spent a little bit of money here and there and upgraded a basic system going forward. So yeah, now that I'm doing this, I've attracted the attention of people that are expert builders, and I'm so excited with that because I can learn from them. You guys can too. So please join us in that respect. The views to these videos are getting higher and higher, and the time is going up. I don't want this to be a super long drawn out. I'm shooting for about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm not going to do any building on this unit tonight, but I definitely, what do you think? Can we get to the unboxing? Anybody want to do the happy dance? One more question here. Dead Horse says, is the power supply tester is worth the weight in gold? Take it from someone who uses a tier new. He had a tier. He blew up. He absolutely blew up some fans with a faulty PSU unit. We've talked about that. And yes, the motherboard, it looks pretty awesome. You're going to see it firsthand. I've got a camera down here. Just want to make sure I've covered the business stuff. Got that. Get those out of the way. And let's see. Oh, here's the picture of the combo. Oh, I forgot the most important thing, guys. The cost on this. What I bought, the combo with the RAM and the CPU, was not the 37 that you see there, but it was the $66. And I think if you select it on the third option there, it'll show you the different price. But guys, I'm a first-time buyer on AliExpress, so it was free shipping, and a lot of things are free shipping anyway. So $66, and then I bought a M.2 card for storage for this unit that had good ratings, and my total on AliExpress, $97 and change. All the shipping was covered, everything was paid for, less than $100. I've got 90% of a starting build of a computer. And if you needed to cheap out on the rest of it, you could go to like the thrift store and get a basic Dell desktop, strip everything out of it, put all this new stuff in it, and be on your way, because a lot of those have a power supply. They're more than adequate for these boards. Don't take my word for it, but do some research. But I would think that this board probably needs 300, 400 watts at least. But even then, a decent power supply is not hard to find. But if you do buy a used one, spend your $11, $12, get you a tester, make sure that it's going to put out the right adequate power and not going to hurt your board, because some of this stuff is, especially Crusher wasn't my favorite doctor. Now, Gore, I haven't not used Temu, but I was always super, super scared of Alibaba because I heard terrible, terrible things about it. And even on this purchase here was a recommendation from somebody I trusted that I built a relationship with over time, and he's actually a friend of the family as well. And I said, go there, find me a combo. I'm going to buy that one, and this is where we're at. Dead Horse, Tom Baker, buddy, Tom Baker, that's mine. I'm not sure which one Crusher was, to be honest with you. Now, David Tennant is a second close, but Tom Baker, I know I'm old, I'm sorry, but Tom Baker is the one. So I'll try to keep up with those comments as we go. Let's see, RAM profile, we covered that. Here is the floating cam. I call this the floating cam because I can move it around. Don't want to get you dizzy. So I'm not sponsored by anything, but one of my other hobbies and my passions are pocket knives. And I'm only going to mention this because it's something I'm interested in. I wonder if I can get over here. Now, here in a minute, I'll go to full screen and we'll look at this, unless this turns out to be better. But guys, this is a Cobra Tech out the front knife from a Texas company here in the U.S. And I've had this, obviously you can tell it's quite worn. I've had this for about a year. But a lot of the guys I watch on YouTube that do computer stuff have a fancy knife for opening boxes. I thought I'd pull this out. I've had this in my pocket and used it many, many times. But I do emphasize use knives safely. You know, if you under proper care and safety, just because they are very sharp. So anyway, I was very excited to bring this into the show. So, guys, I don't do a whole lot of unboxings. I'm not sure. How do I cut this? Do I stab it right in the middle? No, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Anyway, let's just go down the side here. There's our first cut. And done with that. Oh. 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 I am feeling a nice, clean, smooth, well-painted motherboard box. And for me, that's important. Oh, should there be ASMR? I don't know what that means. Those people are, yeah. Anyway, so I can't wait anymore. Away with that. Guys, make sure this doesn't have any personal. It's got a sticker. So this would have been on the build sheet, I imagine, for what they've added to it. It's got a lot of good information on there. It's got the full specs. But the box, there's just a little bit of an indentation here. A little, just what you would expect for somebody grabbing it or picking it up. But all in all, this box is in excellent, excellent condition. And that was one of my concerns, is about how abused this thing would get over shipping overseas. And so not much. So here we go. Who's ready? Can I get a Bob Tech Talks? Well, technically speaking, some of the knives are mechanically engineered ingeniously. When I was a kid, I couldn't imagine, so there's a lot of technology involved with pocket knives. That's definitely an awesome idea. I have an excellent knife collection, pocket knives, and I would be happy to share that with you at some point. I also do sharpening. There's some technical related information to that too. But thanks for the suggestion. We'll look at that. I do have another idea, not to hesitate. I know you guys are getting excited, but I have another idea for a video series I'd like to start, and it's going to be a little different, but I'll tell you about it later. Keep you in suspense. Keep you coming back. All right, here we go. And that's it. All right, we're done. So, guys, thank you very much. Have a great night. I'll be seeing you. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. No, just kidding. All right, so we've got 2-layer box authentication. And we've got a build sheet. There's some BIOS setting information here. And installation instructions. There's RAM and whatnot. And yep, there's that. Excuse me. It's in English. Motherboard. Okay, so we'll take a look at that later. It says something about installation. IO shield, pretty basic, generic, but it's clean and it's brand new. Got a SATA cord. And let's go here. Turn that off. And is that better? Is that better? That camera's a little farther away. But everything, this is the new box. It's not been recycled or anything. And I can tell that the processor is here. The RAM is already in it, so they've taken that out. I'll go ahead and pull this out. All right, I guess don't have that on that option. I think I have to go back here, but I kind of like this view. Whatever you guys like. If you need to see it different, let me know. We'll go. I just want you to be able to see this up close. The top camera's a little high and far away. And to pull this apart, anti-static bagging, super cool. If they x-rayed it or anything like that, it would be a thing. So let's pull that away. All right. All right. Now, just on the back side, I do notice they've got some foam here. That's awesome. Guys, that is perfectly mint condition. I don't even see any fingerprints on it, no smudges, no nothing. So let's take a look at the front here. I'll take the foam out. The anti-static bag, I'm still going to use it because it never hurts to have your system or your board. Now, capacitors hold a charge. There's a lot of little capacitors on here, but right now it also does not have the CMOS battery. So that's a very common factor. They don't ship batteries overseas. I think there's a thing in customs that would hold that up. And so they leave those out. Fortunately, for a little bit of nothing, I think $10, I showed you last time, I've got a whole sheet of 20 of the batteries that go in here. Let's take a look at the side here. We've got the old serial ports here for, I think they call those PS2 ports. We got USB 2.0 for 4 slots here. We got 2 3.0 USBs. We got gigabit internet, Ethernet, multi-channel microphone in and outs is audio. And this is a brand new board. There's no question about it. I'm going to look here at the processor. And if you notice, there is a little bit of thermal paste on that processor. As I mentioned before, these are not brand new processors, but they all should be tested. And there is a return policy on these as well in case. I don't think a $10 processor or something I'd be sending back, but I would definitely find another one if this one wasn't bad. I would not lose a whole lot of sleep if there was something wrong with this one. They've already got it seated. It looks like there's I think this is probably an audio chip. I could be wrong, but there's a nice little heat sink on that. One more thing we were talking about before. I've spread my things up. Here's the little VRM heat sinks. And there's a huge heat sink here, but you also have these little VRMs right here. That's what these are for. There's one for each one of them. And then if there's any other IC chips, or there's a couple more down here, those could be added to those as well. So anything that handles version 1 over here too as well. Those are voltage regulators, and they can carry a lot of heat. One recommendation I even heard a little bit earlier is that, well, Dead Horse is building one, or just built one of these yesterday, in fact. The only concerns he had with it, if I remember correctly, was that he had directed his CPU fan upwards, and it was blowing straight onto the heat sinks here of the VRMs, and so he wanted to reroute that to take that heat away. It was either up or down. Dead Horse, I'd have to go back and look at that. Your mouse won't work in BIOS unless it's a PS2 mouse, but the keyboard works just fine. Good to know. Okay, so in the BIOS, which is onboard programming, you'd have to have a PS2 mouse over here hooked up to scroll around that. But if I remember right, tab and alt and click and connect, you can move around the BIOS fairly easy, even in the oldest ones that I remember. So there's, excuse me, there's a possibility there. But it wouldn't be hard to find a PS2 ported mouse if you didn't want to buy one. Probably 1 out of every 10 you find in the store, at the thrift store or the secondhand store, or even on eBay, you'd find one for super, super cheap, a couple, $3. So there's that. I do see 1 stick of RAM, and I wasn't sure that it. Let me see if I can see this here. This is a 1 stick, 16 gigabyte RAM stick. So they're not messing around there. It's a double-sided RAM stick. It's got chips on both sides. So, I mean, even in America, a 16 gigabyte single stick is pretty expensive. But that came with it. That was part of the package. So I could definitely add to that. Going back to the build that Dead Horse did on this, he also says, and I need to follow back up with you on that, that one of these pin connectors that looks like a USB connector is not a USB connector, but we will figure that out. But there are several others. There's no problems with over there. We'll get that figured out. But all in all, he says this is a great build. David highly recommends these, and it's dual rank EC RAM so it's error code correcting. It's not cheap stuff. All right, awesome. So that's not cheap stuff. So it's got everything. It's a small form factor, micro ATX, so we could put that in almost any case. Heating and cooling is a concern, so you'd want to make sure that you have plenty of airflow in this. But all in all, I'm very impressed. It's a great looking board. I do not have the memory stick that I ordered. It was probably shipped separately. It'll probably be in the mailbox the next day or two. Also, guys, here is also there's an M.2 slot right here, and I think in my description it says SATA, so that's not NVMe. It's not super. It's not the fastest one, but in this particular one, I believe it states that it's SATA. It's still a solid state drive. It's still going to be quick enough for this build. We're not trying to build a tournament-based gaming rig out of this. I think I will build an entry-level system out of this, and I have some prospects for some friends and family that would be interested in investing in a basic starter game system. So I need a cameraman. Anybody got some free time wants to come over and hold the camera? You're welcome to do it. But all in all, so guys, super neat looking board. Yeah, I can't wait to get started with putting it together and doing some things with it. I've got more SATA cords than I know what to do with, and IO shield. And if you have some good ideas, let me know. What would you do with it? I've got another friend that is trying to build a editing machine. I don't know that this would be ideal for that, but there are a lot of applications. These make sure that's not a hole in that processor. Maybe just a piece of thermal paste there. But the excitement I had about this was just trying to find something that you could put together for super cheap, but it had an aspect of some brand new parts and components. With the reviews on these, they're solid. It's I have no suspicions or concerns about this building and becoming a system that's functional and working properly. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show people that have built these for. I guess I should look over here. Built these for gaming rigs and gotten great results. We'll see. I'll do a build series on this after I get some parts together. Knowing that heating will be a concern from the CPU, we want to keep, because it is a server CPU, and those that they have, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 12 core and 24 threads, or is it 8 core? I'm sorry I didn't look at that on the thing. See if it says here. The RAM is 2133 megahertz, and the it doesn't say cores on the CPU, but I know it's a lot. So heat is an issue. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use one of these that I purchased on a sale at the store. It's brand new, but that will add a little bit. 12 core, 24 thread. Thank you, Dead Horse. 2.2 gigahertz. Guys, for everything I'm fumbling here, got my awesome backup team. Read those comments, and they'll throw in the extra information there. This 212 Halo Black RGB CPU cooling fan. It works for Intel and AMD. It's got the separate brackets in for each one. I'm planning on using one of those for this build. Gosh, it's going to be huge like this, but once we have everything in order, and in the case, won't matter how big that is, but it'll do an awesome job at cooling. Excuse me. So, if you have any questions, any concerns, or anything I've left out, please feel free to ask. Throw me a comment. Join the Discord, and this information is available. These guys are on all the time, and more so than me. I was really excited to get this. I can't wait to get to it, to start building on it, and seeing how that process goes. As far as, I don't think there'll be any more challenges or any different than the ASUS board that we put in the other unit was much more complex than this. It's still got the regular standard plugins for the power switch and the LED lights, and some of those plugs are even universal now, and they're added to it. I've just got to come up with a power supply and a case, and apparently I need a PS2 mouse for that serial port, which I'm sure I have one somewhere in a box. I've kept everything. I'm such a hoarder. But Bob Builder. Hi, Bob Builder. He's got a whole list. P494 socket Intel. Can't read that fast, sir. Oh my goodness. I like that. It wasn't what that Bob Builder. That has a nice sound to it. I wonder if he wears a yellow construction hat. Just kidding. Overalls are fun though. So, Bob's got the best. He's got all the specs in there. That's perfect. Thank you for that. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know what else to say. There's not really anything else we can do tonight. Other than I'll start collecting some parts for this. I've got some other video ideas coming up soon. Keep on the lookout for my shorts. I'm going to sneak some secret information into my shorts. I'm sorry, wait, that came out wrong. Rewind. Can we edit live? Can we go back in like 30 seconds? I'm going to make some short YouTube videos that are going to be some reveals for things coming soon. And I just lost 4 subscribers. Put interesting things in my shorts. What the hell were you thinking? Anyway, so what I'm saying is, this has been a lot of fun. It really has. I'm excited. New stuff like this, new ideas that you guys are bringing me, recommendations, suggestions, and seeing. I've got all these computers I don't know what to do with. I've got to finish them and put them together. And I'll update you on those. Some short videos that I have coming soon. I can't really do bloopers because you see the bloopers in real time, but I may take a couple of highlights out, put those in the short videos, and throw them on there. Also, maybe do some announcements or whatnot. Other than that, guys, anything. Thank you for the specs. I believe I put the link as well in the description that will take you straight to AliExpress. Oh, one more thing, guys. The most important, AliExpress, I was able to use my PayPal to purchase this on the AliExpress. That relieved me of a huge concern. I've had a PayPal for a long time. It's guaranteed. It's insured. If I contested the purchase or I never got the product, PayPal would go to battle for me and recover my money. I've done it once or twice before, but I've had very good luck with it. As opposed to putting a credit card out there in the world that is so far away and having those concerns. Being able to process it through PayPal was a great thing for me. If you don't have PayPal and you want another option and you're interested in doing this, perhaps you could go to a local center and get a prepaid debit card of some kind or a credit card that only has enough money for what you want to buy. And if that makes you feel more comfortable, the very worst case scenario, you don't have other resources that are available to the people that could steal that information. Thus far, though, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about AliExpress, and these gentlemen who have used it quite a few times are very happy with it, and they have never had any problems before. Other than a power supply that blew up, but did not come from AliExpress, from what I understand. But once in a while, even these products, you would have something that would fail. I think AliExpress has an option. You can get free shipping on returns or free shipping or warranty or something. I'm still learning about that, but just choose wisely how you spend your money and what you put yourself out there for. I know about 10 years ago, I bought 2 PlayStation 4s with a cloned card of my debit card in Connecticut, which is 1,600 miles from here, and I didn't even get to play on them. So that was a long, drawn-out process. Use your best judgment. Follow up with any kind of safe ways to use purchases as you choose and see fit. And I think the best advice, as I was given on even this, is to, if you're looking at different things to buy on AliExpress, look for reviews, look for purchases, read some reviews, and almost all the time, the higher the purchases, the volume of purchases for that item, and the more reviews that are on there, it's going to indicate that something that you have is legitimate. And in this respect, also, the ZSUS board, that company, there's a list, and I've made some notes. We were talking about this the other day in Discord, of some of the more reputable manufacturers that are on AliExpress that make these import boards. I will try to get that posted up and listed either in these comments or as well in the Discord as too. We'll make a list for that specifically so that you can kind of have a starting place. Hopefully, the intent here is to build a gaming system that's capable of playing something like Fortnite on relatively low settings, but at a high frequency. at least 60 frames per second, and can be playable, enjoyable on a system that doesn't cost more than $250. And for anybody even starting out, if you've got children or kids, or you want to do it for yourself, to make an investment as $250 as opposed to $800 what you buy at the store that's pre-built. I don't have anything bad to say about some of those computers. I've never bought any of them. The ones that are labeled iBuyPower and CyberPower, and I know Dell's Alienware is the high-end thing, but I tend to stray away from name brands and pre-built systems in that sometimes they have proprietary parts, and those aren't compatible with replacements or switchable parts for them, so it makes it really hard to upgrade unless you buy their parts. So in this particular unit, this is built with DDR RAM 4 slots. It's got 4 slots. I could add to it. I think there's a limit. If I'm not mistaken, it's I can't remember. It's not very high because these are an older platform style, but it's already got 16 gigabytes. I don't think I'll need any more than that. So I'm pretty excited about that. But guys, I mean, that was our unboxing for our Z99 board and X99 ZSUS board. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 40 minutes and I've had a lot of fun with this. I can't wait to start plugging things into this and stamping on little heat sinks. And 128 gigabytes of RAM is the max for this board, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I believe that with this processor, like I said, there's quite a few other Xeon processors. I would go for this socket and try to find the best one that I could, the highest capacity, the fastest one that would support the socket that this board would be open for, if I was going to try to push it to the edge of what it's capable of doing for a gaming machine. And I would be, I don't know that this one won't. I think it'll do just fine. But the one thing I do see, now this is, let me show you this real quick. I'm trying to wrap this up, but now I don't know. That is actually a hole in this processor. I have no idea what could have caused that, but I've never seen a hole in the casing of a processor. So, as I said, guys, only about $10 for these. They're not bad. You can get them on eBay all the time. If for any reason this fails, I would suspect it has something to do with that hole. But if it does, I'm not going to lose any sweat. I'm going to go buy another one, have it shipped over, have it throw it in there in no time at all. But I bet it probably worked. I bet they probably tested it just to make sure. And once we get some thermal paste on there, it's not going to matter that that's there or not. But I just noticed that, and it's not, considering what I've invested in this board, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that before I plug it in and fire it up with the system already the first time. I am, like I said, I ordered the M.2 storage as well. It was about $34. And I think I've got a 500 gigabyte memory card, so I'm going to put it in here. I believe I ordered it NVMe, and I believe the specifications for this one say it's SATA. So I'm not sure that there's conflict there, but if there is, I can come up with a SATA M.2, no problem. I still have lots of uses for that one. Dead Horse says he thinks it works just perfect. Take a pic, file a claim. They won't even ask for the one back. Include a pic. I can do that. We'll see if I feel like if I have any problems with it at all, I'll do that and see how that works out. But there again, it's the motherboard alone. I feel like it was complete, and the RAM. According to Dead Horse, he says that's fairly expensive RAM. I'm sure the motherboard and the RAM greatly make up for any mistakes that could be done with the processor. So I'm not concerned about it. I probably won't follow up if there's an issue, but according to what Dead Horse says, there's an option to be able to do that. So there's one more reason to relieve some of the concerns you might have about buying the system. As I said, the processor is the only used thing on here. They've recycled probably a bazillion of those server processors such as these, and they have those as resources to use in these new motherboards. And that's one of the contributing factors in making this combo special a value for you. So that's that. If you don't have any more questions or anything I can do for you, like I said, please join the Discord. Absolutely, guys. We're on there 24 hours a day almost. I stay up late. I play some Fortnite. If we're gaming and we're in a voice channel, come and join in. Tell us who you are. Talk to us and join in and play. Let's play some games. We're always one or two short on a Fortnite crew, and do a roast of all my subscribers. Well, I don't know who they all are first. A2B2. Yeah, those are the two RAM slots that. What? A2B2. Are we talking about the other build? That was a long time ago. PC roast of all your subscribers. I'm not sure I know how to do that, Bob the Builder. But send me a message on that. I'll figure it out. But I love my subscribers. I don't want to scare them off. I just got them. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. Push the like button because I think that helps. And like I said, the views have gone up, the subscribers have gone up, and as long as you guys are here contributing, and I did put a bunch of hashtags in there that are related to this board. We're trying that out, see if that works for videos. I'm still fairly new to streaming. I bought a couple fancy lights, and I got a good deal on one, and this color is kind of washed out. I can tell. I know it's a little brighter than what it should be. I'm working on that. Audio is super cheap. I mean, I think I got this wireless microphone set up for $25. So if it doesn't sound perfect, there's more coming soon. Like, subscribe, share. Share the video on your personal profile, like Facebook or whatever. Let people see it. And the intention here is to build a community. And our Discord is fairly small right now, but the people that have come have been awesome. And it's so much fun and exciting. There's lots of pictures on there, and the information is overwhelming. Absolutely overwhelming. We're learning. I'm learning. And as long as I'm enjoying this and having fun bringing it to you and you're enjoying watching it, I'll be here for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that's it. I could ramble all night. I could pick up stuff and show you. I will show you one more thing. I think I showed these in the last video, but now that I have a camera right here, I got these for about $7 off of Amazon. I think you pull that off, and I think you open that up. And we were having a challenge with the additional RGB lighting and some of those. This is a single to 5 output power supply for RGB lights on multiple fans that we were doing, or I guess it could be fan power as well, but I think we'd probably use these for the lighting. But $7 on Amazon. I don't have a link for these on there. They're pretty easy to find. I'll try to post that later. But this is for $7 to have more power options than what you might have on the board. As I mentioned, Dead Horse has one of these that's not a USB that says that looks like one that it is. But if you needed extra, you could always add this breakout adapter and have a few more. I don't think there's any concerns with power consumption as far as that. But I did have that in anticipation of maybe needing that for this board as well, along with the batteries at the same time. So, guys, it's been fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up now, and I will be back very soon. Like I said, I've got a great new idea for a video series. It may be several 15-minute videos, shorts that are going to be fun. But I think if a little teaser for that, because you guys are here now, I want to tell you about my experience with technology. My life story is related to tech, and one example of why I think that would be fun, and you could always turn it off if you don't want, but I have been alive long enough to have played or been have access to every single video game system and console ever created. Wrap that around your brain. Think about it. a few of you others are familiar with what I'm talking about, and to know exactly where I'm coming from, if you ever played Pong on a 13-inch black and white TV with 2 wires stick to 2 little screws to the back of it, and you still have nightmares late at night about bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, and you've ever had to play Pong with 2 hands and 2 controllers because nobody was there with you to play, you might get the idea. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much. Good night. Sammy, it's good to see you. Love you, dear. Guys, please come back and see me again. I'm going to have another video. It's intentional to get more video and more content out quicker. I've got some pre-recorded ideas, and look forward to, like I said, John has built the list. He's purchased the items. He's waiting on shipping. That's going to be a dream build. I'm so excited to bring you that on live stream and some videos. So, guys, good night. Thank you so much. Let me get out of here before the bus leaves so I can make sure to get home. So have a wonderful